I do have a pre-recorded waist bead business class. So I won't be going as in depth as that class, or if you get a consultation or something like that. So, but I do want to give some tips, and I got to get off of here real quick. So I'm going to say 5 tips, tell you 5 things that you need to do before you start, that you need to figure out before you start your waist bead business. And the first thing is, of course, getting knowledge on the history of waist beads, even the knowledge of beads, period. I'm always learning. There is, it's a vast, the beads originate in Africa, but Kenyan have their beads, West Africa have their beads. So there's different meanings, but they all have a certain significance in the region where they come from. So like in Ghana, they're not supposed to be seen. And then in other areas, they are supposed to be seen to let the opposite sex know that you're ready for mating or dating or whatever. So you want to get the history, learn from as many people as you can, the history of waist beads. The second thing is find out who your target market is, because even out of the people who do wear waist beads, there is a certain target that you are going to be focused on, just like doulas. Okay, so birth workers, you say, okay, everybody's having babies, but there's only going to be a certain type of woman that's going to be attracted to a certain type of doula. So get down to the target market. There's a thing now going on that says create your avatar. So you basically want to know who your person is that's more likely to buy your waist beads. So because of the length of time that I have been selling waist beads, I can kind of spot my client. So that way I don't waste time on those people that are not. So I'm not really for the first timers, people who are just getting into waist beads. Yes, sometimes they do come, but when someone either DMs me, message me, or if I'm vending and they come up to me and they ask me, what are waist beads for? 99% of the time, they're not my client. They're not even going to buy, because some people just cannot wrap their minds around it. And it can seem so foreign because it is an ancient practice, but it's just becoming more trendy. So when someone starts to ask, is waist beads voodoo and witchcraft and all that stuff, it's after they start talking like that, I'm not even listening anymore. I mean, I am listening, but I'm not even trying to sell to them, because I already know they're too far they're in another area. Like I can't. Like 1% of the time I can convince them and tell them about it, and then they'll buy. But that's not my particular client. So you can target teens, millennials, you can target petite women, models, fitness people. You can target middle-aged women, mothers. You can target a certain race or races. You can do, there's so many things that you could do. You could do religious, conscious people, different type of people that are your audience. So figure out the people that are drawn to your product. And you do need to be testing. I say go ahead and just test it out. Whether if you're selling online or in person, go ahead and start testing it out before you get these definite answers. But number one is know the history. Number two, know your target market audience. Where will you be selling? If you're going to be selling online, of course, you need to find out what marketplace, what market platform you're going to be using. There's so many out there. If if you want to do it online, you have to take good pictures. If you want to sell in person, you could do groups, so you have to have a nice setup. So figure out where you are going to be selling them. And of course, you don't have to do just one thing. You could also have them in stores on consignment. You can sell to retailers so that they can sell them. Different ways of different places that you can actually sell them, but get that in mind. What kind of waist beads are you going to sell? There's so many types: cotton strand, single strand, double strand, 3 strand, 4 strand, gemstones, crystals, elastic, removable, permanent. There are so many different strings that you could use. Think about what kind. My personal suggestion is to have different kinds, because if you everybody, some people like the cotton strand, some people say permanent, removable. They want different ones, so you want to make sure that you have a variety. If you want to do the gemstones, get the supplier that you are going to be using. Make sure that they're consistent, they're credible, and they have good quality products, because you want to make sure that the person that you are getting your supplies from, whether it's beads and the supplies or the complete waist beads together, you want to make sure that they're consistent, because when you get those orders coming in, you want to keep the business going. So you want to make sure that the person is legit, that you're getting your waist beads from. The cost. So I get so many people asking me, what should they charge? Typically, what I learned from making candles is that this is the minimum. Not that you have to have this price, but the minimum is however much you spend on the product, multiply that by 3, and that should cover your overhead and different things like that, like your stickers, the vending fees, just paying employees, packaging product, all that type of stuff, covering your overhead. So that is the minimum. That's the minimum. So if you buy your waist beads from a wholesaler like me, let's just say they are $5 each. You want to make sure that you sell the waist beads no less than $15. Of course, you can do 25, 35, 45, 55, 85. I've heard of waist beads costing up to $200. So you want to figure out what is going to make financial sense for you. You have to be happy. You don't want to go too low to where you feel like you're cheated, and then you want to be too high. You don't want to be too high to the point where nobody is buying. So figuring out your target market, where you're going to buy, what kind of waist beads, and the knowledge and the cost, those are some things that you should make sure that you know when you're starting your waist bead business. And of course, you would, things could change. I charge my wholesale price is set. That's my wholesale price. But when I am out vending at different places, I may change my price depending on how much the vending fee is, how far I've traveled to that place, if there's other people at the event with waist beads, or if I want to hurry up and sell them. This is just, there's so many different reasons why I may change a price, but I do have like a range of what the waist beads usually cost.